This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, we're going to call this first segment Tisha B'Av that falls out on Shabbos, the far-reaching ramifications, part 2. So actually on Monday we discussed a very interesting shaila and chakira, and that is this year when Tisha B'Av comes out on Shabbos and is pushed off to Sunday, there are really two ways of looking at it that are reflected in the following question. The question is this week Shavuos Shechal by Tisha B'Av? So what's the nafkamina? The nafkamina is that there are certain restrictions this week that are more severe than the rest of the 3 weeks. We know there's a custom not to take a haircut and shave during the entire 3 weeks, but the week of Tisha B'Av is not a custom, it's a halacha from the Gemara. The week of Tisha B'Av is a very strict halacha. But the question is this the week of Tisha B'Av? So you say, of course it's the week of Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av is tonight, and this is the week of Shavuos Shechal by Tisha B'Av. However, if we view it that when Tisha B'Av comes out on Shabbos, that it's legislated l'chatchila on Sunday, this is no longer the week of Tisha B'Av. So that's the shaila. And we pointed out that the Shulchan Aruch paskins that this is not the week of Tisha B'Av, that we don't view it that Tisha B'Av is Shabbos pushed off, but we view it that Tisha B'Av is enacted l'chatchila on Sunday. And part of the rationale of that is because of the svara of Rabbi Yochanan, who made the case that had he been around when Tisha B'Av was legislated, he would have made Tisha B'Av on the 10th, since the majority of the Heichal was burnt down on the 10th. And the Gemara counter-argues, no, it goes by the beginning of the burning. However, in a year like this, where we cannot fast on the beginning of the burning, in fact, Tisha B'Av would then come out on the day it really is supposed to be. So that lends credence to this notion that Tisha B'Av, when it falls out on Shabbos, is legislated l'chatchila on the 10th. And it has nafkaminos for many inyanim regarding whether if a child became bar mitzvah on Sunday, does he have to fast? You say, of course, it's Tisha B'Av. Not if it's a makeup for Shabbos. If it's a makeup for Shabbos, he wasn't bar mitzvah on Shabbos. So he wasn't bar mitzvah on Shabbos. He never had to fast Shabbos. He wouldn't have to fast Tisha B'Av. But if it's not a makeup, it's just legislated chadchila for Sunday, he would have to fast. But that was Monday's shiur. Now I want to tell you about another very interesting ramification of Tisha B'Av that comes out on Shabbos regarding this chakira. Do we view it that Tisha B'Av is Sunday, or do we view it as it's on Shabbos, it's just pushed off? And that is, today's a long day, and we're hoping to hear the sound of the shofar very soon. We're hoping Mashiach will come. And the question is, when Mashiach comes later this afternoon, what day are we going to celebrate? Are we going to celebrate Shabbos, or are we going to celebrate Sunday? Because we know, Tzayim Haravi, V'Tzayim HaChamishi, V'Tzayim Hashi, V'Tzayim HaSiri, Yeh L'Beis Yehuda L'Sasa and L'Simcha. We know that Tisha B'Av in the future will be a Yom Tiv. But if Tisha B'Av comes out on Shabbos and we're going to celebrate Sunday, and it's pushed off to Sunday, but what day will we celebrate? Will we celebrate the Shabbos, or will we celebrate Sunday?
Mashiach will tell us. We'll wait till he gets here.
Mashiach will tell us. But people will be taking pictures and be lining up to take pictures with Mashiach. We might not get a chance to ask him. So, at first glance...
What's the Havamina? Are you allowed to be happy on Shabbos?
The question is, what day is the Yom Tiv?
It's only pushed off because... It's only pushed off because you can't fast on Shabbos.
The Pashup Shah would be, is the only reason we would ever push off Tisha B'Av to Sunday is because Avelos and Tainus cannot be on Shabbos. But a Yom Tov in no way is a contradiction to Shabbos. So why would we push it off to Sunday? That would be at first glance. But you could make the case that we just mentioned that when Tisha B'Av comes out on Shabbos, it's legislated l'chadchila for Sunday. No, but that's only because it's only legislated l'chadchila for Sunday because it cannot be legislated on Shabbos because the Avelos and the Tainus is a contradiction to Shabbos. But if it's a Yom Tif, it could be legislated l'chadchila for Sunday. So that would be the simple pshat. Why else would we think differently? However, the Chassam Sofer at the end of this week's parasha writes openly that if Mashiach comes on the year that Tisha B'Av is Shabbos, we will celebrate on Sunday. Because the Chassam Sofer learns, once Chazal were oiker Tisha B'Av to Sunday, they did it for all times. whether it's a Yom Avelus or whether it's a Yom Simcha. Some Sofer writes, Mirz Hashem, when Mashiach comes, obviously not during the Shiur. First of all, during the Shiur, how would anybody know if your phones are off? So how would you know Mashiach came, right? And besides that, how would anybody know Mashiach came? Now, even if Mashiach came during the Shiur, we would not interrupt. If Mashiach came during the Shiur, we would not be able to interrupt the Shiur. We would have to tell Mashiach, wait until the Shiur is over. In fact, there's a famous story that the Gemara says, Gedoylo Talmud Torah Yoser Me Binyan Beis HaMikdash. In fact, Rabbi Vadia Yosef once met up with the Baba Sali, and the Baba Sali said, he called everybody out of the room. He said it's an Eis Ratzain, and Rabbi Yitzchok Yosef was hiding in the corner, and the Baba Sali said, if we both wash until Yadayim right now, we will bring Mashiach. So Rabbi Vadia looked at his watch. He said, the only thing is I can't wash because I have to go to Shiur, and I'll be delayed 30 seconds to my Shiur if I wash. The Baba Sali said, well, if we don't bring Mashiach now, who knows when will it come? Rabbi Vadia says, what could I do? Gadol Talmud Torah Yoser Mi Binyan Beis HaMikdash. So, you think, oh, I'm waiting for Mashiach. No, you're here in the Shiur. That's greater than Mashiach. Talmud Torah is greater than Mashiach. That's the story. Ma'aseh Shahaya.
Should we change the rule about turning off the cell phone? This year, maybe we should permit the cell phones.
Why?
Otherwise, we will miss Mashiach.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Shiur is greater.
Yeah.
Click anyway. Don't worry.
Anyway, you'll hear it. You'll find out.
Doesn't the Gemara talk about planting a tree? Isn't that
The Gemara says Rabbi planted a tree on Purim. Yeah. So that's so Pashup Pshat is Mashiach will be what day? Will be Shabbos. Chasam Sofer says Mashiach will be celebrated when? Sunday. Comes a Shagas Aryeh, and he says no, they're missing one important nekuda. Really, if Tisha B'Av comes out on Shabbos, we push it off to Sunday. But what should we have done? We should have advanced it to Thursday. Why? Because that's the halacha.
When we don't advance punishment.
But the Gemara says you don't advance punishment. But when Mashiach is celebrating the Yom Tov, Mashiach is not punishment. So it would be advanced to Thursday, says the Shagas Aryeh.
Rabbi, but what's the problem if Mashiach comes and it's a Yom Simcha? Yeah. Why can't it be celebrated on Shabbos? We have Pesach could be Shabbos.
Again,
could be Shabbos.
That's how we started. That's the Pashup Pshat. That was the Pashup Pshat.
How would you advance it to Thursday? So it's already Friday.
What?
The Mashiach came today. How will I advance it to Thursday?
If it's a fast, you can't.
No, but passed already.
But if it's a Simcha,
what's the Pshat? Advance it to Thursday. Thursday was already.
So this Chosh V'Yid from Forest Hills is asking, if Mashiach came today, how in the world would we celebrate yesterday? So one way is the time travel, back in the clock, and the other way would be the next time that Tisha B'Av came out on a Shabbos, then we would celebrate that year on a Thursday. So it comes out, listen to this. So we have a three-way machlokes when we would celebrate. Pashup Pshat is we would celebrate Shabbos because it's not a stira to Shabbos. The Chasam Sofer's pasuk we would celebrate Sunday, and the Shagas Aryeh says we would celebrate Thursday. So it comes out what we're waiting for is the first 4-day Yom Tov in history, right? Because nowadays we have a 3-day Yom. But according to this, we would have Thursday, we would have Shabbos, we would have Sunday. What do you have Friday? It can't be a day off, you know. So it would be quite. Elu ve'elu divrei Elokim chayim. Now, what's interesting is Bizman hazeh, when Tisha B'Av comes out on Shabbos, what do we push off to Sunday? The fast.
Right.
But there's also every Tisha B'Av has a moyed aspect of it because we don't say Tachnun on Tisha B'Av. Why this year on Sunday are we going to say Tachnun?
No.
Why not? Why wouldn't we say Tachnun?
Why?
Because we pushed it off. But l'chayra, we should only push off the fast. We shouldn't push off the moyeh part. Meaning, according to the Shita, that if Tisha B'Av, if Mashiach comes, we would celebrate the Yom Tov of Tisha B'Av on Shabbos. Then why this year do we not say Tachnun on Sunday? L'chayra, we're only pushing off to Sunday the Tainus and the Avelos part, but not the moyeh part. So you have to say that the aspect of not saying Tachnun is still pushed off. Okay, one more question.
We didn't answer why. We say the aspect is, we know that's it. So
one more question. What if Mashiach comes Motzoi Shabbos? Say yeah, then what? Would we have to fast on Tisha B'Av this year?
Or not, right?
You hear the question? Tisha B'Av came Matzoi Shabbos. What would we have to fast? If the pshat is when Tisha B'Av comes out on Shabbos, they legislated it l'chadchila for Sunday. Of course, you don't have to fast. It was a day legislated to fast, but now there's no reason. But what if Sunday, the pshat is it's a makeup day?
So what? Mashiach came.
We were mechuyev to fast on Shabbos. That chiyuv is on us. Elamai, we have to make it up. Now, after the makeup date, it's a Yom Tif. Very nice, it's Yom Tif. We still have a chiyuv on us. We have to
fast on the day Mashiach comes? That doesn't make sense.
Why?
Why?
We fasted on the day, you fasted the day you got married, so maybe you have to fast the day Mashiach comes.
I got married, Hanukkah.
Okay. So that's a shaila in halacha. If Mashiach would come on Tzai Shabbos, would we have to fast? So l'chayra, it's dependent on the chakira that we mentioned. If we view it that the fast was enacted for Sunday, well, now there's no more reason to fast Sunday. But if it's a make-up date for Shabbos, and Shabbos, when it happened, we were obligated to fast, that chiyuv rests on us, and it could be we would have to fast. Okay, Rabbi, so hopefully we should find out very soon the answer to all of these questions.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.